Hello, Wake Up New Zealand, Carol Seeker speaking. Don't you just hate it when you think someone's scamming you, trying to put one across you? So why are more people not upset and angry about what this government is doing? We need to wake them up more, and we need to support our farmers. No farmers, no food, and that is it. And it's not just a saying, I mean it. So, what we have now is the globalization of the carbon social credit system. You know, have a look at the social credit system in China, where people are damned if they do and damned if they don't. It's about controlling people's behavior through consumerism and services, controlling where and how they travel, where they can travel to, what they can eat, etc., etc. It's really, really bad. So MasterCard is part of a much larger effort, and it's introduced a carbon social credit system impacting on goods and services that people buy using this, and it's under the guise of ESG. ESG is about economy and social governance. So MasterCard's Doconomy is being used as a method of climate change, a climate action, a carbon social credit system, a way of ushering in a social credit system. So very similar to that of the programmable central digital currency system that is being planned right now. And the only problem with that one, there will be no alternatives. But with this one, if you're awake to it, then you have an alternative because you know what's going on. So climate action to meet arbitrary ESG standards for carbon conscious individuals with credit cards. They're spending money if they go over a predetermined carbon limit is determined, action taken, they are advised. So it's calculated on adding up carbon impact on goods and services purchased by MasterCard. And MasterCard is setting the global gold stand limits on carbon calculations. Now, Auckland City Council website, 8th of November, I was looking at 2019, calculate and reduce your carbon footprint using Future Fit. And the council have on their website, these are the words they use, understand the science, and they believe the science is settled, which it's not, and realise the urgency of climate change, which is not. Calculate your own personal carbon footprint. For example, use carbon footprints, then don't eat meat for a day. Get on your bike, take a hike, take a bus, don't use your car, and this sort of thing. So encouraging public transport. Only yesterday or the day before, our trains stopped running out here at West Auckland. And there was protests up. How were people going to get to work if they relied on public transport? So we have hundreds of kilometres of more cycleways that have been planned. So the council's Future Fit tool, that's what it's called, assesses the impact of your carbon footprint in various ways. And they say the biggie is transport, power, food, and living. Yes, just living. Fine-tune aspects of your daily life, they say. Inspire others to do the same. Have a team effort, have a family effort, get everyone involved. Have challenges. But, they say it's free to use. What about ratepayers? I think they're paying for that. They're paying for this scam. Eco Church New Zealand and Aotearoa New Zealand project. No such place as Aotearoa, by the way. Sustainable Developments, Lifestyles, UN Agenda 2030, If we're going to worship God, this is what we must do. Our children must play a full part in sustainable lifestyles, and that's what it says. Carbon credit diet plan, planet saving tips, New Zealand councils grant eco churches in New Zealand money. Westpac website. And it goes on, 29th of October 2020, carbon footprint trackers let Kiwis take action on climate change. New Zealand bank customers can now use their spending app, Kogo, to analyse spending habits to reduce their carbon emissions. On your bike, take a hike. RNZ reported 18th of August 2020, Kiwi Bank customers are able to track their carbon footprints, spending their money in a carbon-friendly way. South China Morning Post, 19th of May 2022, Hong Kong's Planto, that's a company, ties up New Zealand fintech firm Kogo. This is the one that the government is supporting and the councils to create awareness about sustainability. UN Agenda 2030 launch a carbon footprint tracking software for city banks, calculations based on customers' transactions. Planto and Kogo partnerships with banks in Hong Kong. And many businesses in Hong Kong are actually controlled by China, Communist China. The banks collecting the data and the firms receiving commission, depending on how many customers using the software apps or the bank's services. Transactions, a technology to nudge society towards a better pro-environmental behaviour. And we're travelling down that road at very high speed, the Chinese social credit system through carbon social credits. So this is based on aggregation analysis on data and trials. Are there third parties who are getting your data? You have to ask that because I believe there is. This is a reward and punishment system. You're doomed if you do, and you're doomed if you don't. You are damned on both sides with this social credit system. It's control of your behavior, your diet, the way you travel, your whole life. It's control, control, control. So this is a social credit scoring system, a Trojan horse. It's every aspect of your life. It's a WEF 400-page global redesign, collaborating with the UN partnership that they formed on the 13th of June 2019. Self-interested parties, governments, philanthropists, global elite, multi-stakeholder corporations, all mind-ficking, fear-mongering in people's minds. This is psychological fear-mongering. This is massive worldwide re-engineering of your behavior, of society. It's a behavior psychology, making sure the carbon social credit system becomes accepted worldwide to control your behavior. So what on earth does a ton of carbon mean on an emotional level? Well, you think about that one because it's loaded with lots of fear. It's difficult to calculate even carbon footprints because the insufficient knowledge about individual people. So they have different levels of carbon that they can eat, different proteins they can eat, and have different effects on their body because people's bodies act individually, not as a collective. So that makes it very difficult. So S&P Global Seek and Prosper, CNN Business reported March 31st, 2021, an Irish startup can work out your carbon footprint from your grocery list, your grocery receipt. And this is happening more and more across the road. Wellington City Council, calculate your carbon footprint and offset remaining emissions. Make sure you can reduce them. And it goes on. The website reads, achieving a net zero rely on your reducing your carbon footprints. Carbon footprints, they say, are generated by your behaviours, your transport, your diet, the energy you use. Keep in mind, we need you to act locally and globally, they say, because they want to halve those carbon footprints by 2030, UN Agenda 2030, the UN partnership with the WEF, Accelerate UN Agenda 2030, collaborating multi-stakeholder corporations. Also on their website, advertising, promote future fit Toito's carbon calculators. Toto parent company is our parent, Manaki Whenua Lung Care Research. Again, government. This was originally part of the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, DSIR, most have heard of that, an independent organisation. But when the Crown Research Institutes were created in 1992, this is when it happened, as part of that process, they commercialised and now operate as a government-owned company, not a government department. So what about the outsized carbon footprints of global elite? These socialist doom and gloom politicians that go fleeting around the world, that gather at Davos with their jets. What about them? Because they're not worried about their carbon footprints. The world's most wealthiest are driving the doom and gloom climate alarmism. Greta Thunberg, how dare you? It was wrote in it had been written in the Guardian in 2019. The bigger your carbon footprint, the bigger your moral duty. How dare you, Greta Thunberg? That's what she wrote. How dare you? People have also started considering impact on their diets, leading to a boom in plant-based meat and dairy products. Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Richard Branson did a $90 million investment into vegan meat, the meatless burgers. Gates Beyond Meat, the plant-based pizza. The Guardian reports that plant-based is far the best investment to alternatives to mayonnaise, milk, meat, and the list goes on. Sustainability, the global advertising. That's what sustainability is, global advertising for these global elite. People, planet, profits, massive profits for the global elite. Massive wealth is being made by promoters of climate alarmism, doom and gloom, a worldwide social credit system on carbon is being ushered into every country on this planet. So control of diets, behaviours, travel, society, consumption, and control. What more can I say? So real meat is good for you. So support the farmers, people. No farmers, no food. Food, it's important that we have meat in our diets because it's plentiful with vitamin B12, essential for protecting you from being fatigued, brain fog, nerve damage. It helps you protect you from all that, and a decrease in brain volume for older people is quite common, and eating meat helps older people to be protected from this. It's reported that inadequate levels of B12 correlate with memory loss. The brain accounts for 20% of our body's energy use, requires many nutrients to keep the brain functioning well. If lacking B12 can cause cognitive decline, B12 is found naturally in the proteins sourced by real meat. Proteins in meat and dairy play a fundamental role in a child's health and brain development, helps neurons, cells that transmit information to other cells. Meat and poultry contain protein important for growth and development and other nutrient needs for the body, including iodine, zinc, and vitamin B12. And that is reported on Victoria, Australia's government website. Yes, Daniel Andrews, believe it or not, I wonder if he knows it's there. Victoria government website reads fact sheet. Meat and poultry contain protein, which is important for growth and development, and other nutrients your body needs, such as iodine, iron, zinc, and B12. That's on their website, including the meat and poultry are great sources of protein, provide a lot of nutrients and essential fatty acids. It's good to eat meat and poultry each week as part of a balanced diet. Victoria website, government website. No farmers, no food. Support our farmers, because from the government, New Zealand government, top down, collaborating with the iwi elite, they are targeting our farmers. We're looking at global corporate governance here. So we need to support our farmers because they are busy trying to throw the farmers under their own tractors and use farmers as the whipping boy. And this is all about what I've been talking to you about just now. More control by the government, top down, along with the iwi elite. So carbon offsets, they're a scam, a bookkeeping trick, tree planting window dressing, global greenwashing. Don't be fooled by it. A classic con. You are being conned big time. It's greed and power that drives it. Massive profits over populations worldwide that prey on fear. So RNZ reports the 14th of July 2021 imported more than 1 million tonnes of coal. New Zealand imported more than 1 million tonnes of dirty, filthy coal, dusty coal from Indonesia, the most that they had imported since 2006, between 2020 and 2021, as that's the year that Ardern announced emergency climate change. Zero carbons. Come on, people. So, here we go. The human-induced climate change fraud of the 21st century. And that's an article written by New Zealand Centre for Political Research, 9th of February 2022. And it's a very interesting article, and I advise people to read it. I urge you to, and include it. Many politicians, journalists, so-called scientists and climate activists, greeners, are pushing the climate alarmism theory. The alarmist lobby have totally disregarded the vast natural forces that actually do drive climate change. Climate change is happening, but it's not man-made climate change. They report science is settled. Science is not settled. That is a lie. It is a scam. Yes, pollution is bad for you, but CO2 is not a pollutant. So here you go. So we've got carbon dioxide is a plant food, a lifeblood, a plant and the animal kingdom. Human beings have to have CO2. We have it in our body. We have it in our blood. It's the pillar of supporting all life forms on this planet. CO2 is not a greenhouse gas. It's a scam. Wake up, New Zealand. So how do you feel about paying the government to control your life, paying taxpayer dollars to be scammed? with them re-engineering your behavior and the way you live. And this is what's happening. The planning, the introducing of a communist social credit system, a carbon social credit system, and this is what's happening in New Zealand. Wake up, New Zealand.